God consciousness never change. God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So, the God consciousness, the man who retained. This is the reason why non-believers age very fast. You ever notice that? Non-believers age faster than believers. People say that I don't look 72. I say, thank God. I like to be this way even when I'm 90, if I'm around. People will say that you look only 40. But I lose the respect I'm supposed to get at 70 or 80. People still call me, some call me brother, some call me uncle, but nobody calls me Appachan. There's something unique in that one. You'll call me. No, don't call me. Don't call me. But everybody calls my wife Ammachi, because she got all grey hair, fully white. I said, let it remain like that. I like it that way. If I don't show my age, at least she must show age, Yes. Yes. Some nice moments to cherish. Once I was walking with my wife, it was little bit raining, we had only one umbrella, so, we were walking under the same umbrella. In the little rain, a group of boys and girls, they were 6, 7, 8 maybe, they were enjoying, they were dancing in the rain and all. As we were passing by, one of them made a comment, he just asked in Malayalam, "Evadayirunnu amme monum kude?" Where had you been, mother and son? My wife and I had fun, and we often say it, and we smile, and we say laugh, and it's nice feeling, Oh yes, we both enjoy it. These are certain realities you have to accept. You don't mature unless you accept your realities. Someone born with, like our dear brother, he has a problem with walking. If he accepts it, there's no problem. Not for him, for others. Some people won't accept it, so they won't get out for home. They will say that, this. Some people may have only one arm, they will cover it with some cloth or something. Why you cover it with? Let everybody know that you accepted. The complex comes by not accepting the inferiority or the superiority. I say accept I am inferior, so I don't have complex. I have complex only when I don't accept my inferiority, right? Then I try to show I am superior by attacking others, criticizing others, and when I accept that I am inferior to many people, so what's wrong? Nothing wrong. Some girls won't accept the fact that, they are not that good looking. Some boys won't accept the fact that they are not that muscular. You always accept it. Always accept. So we have learned to accept. And we have fun then. We enjoy, we make joke about it. That's the way it should be. You should accept, That's a part of your maturity. A person is mature when he is able to joke about himself. That's a sign of maturity. When you are able to joke about yourself, in public especially, then you are a mature person. When you cover up, you are not mature. If somebody make a joke of you, you cry, you should laugh with them. You say it again, I like to hear it, That's a maturity, That's maturity. And we should mature. So it's very, very important, psychologically very, very important for us. Human memory is another facet of the unity of the identity, argument that supports the existence of a supernatural mind. Arthur Christensen has said, what research has shown thus far is that there is no precise one-to-one relationship between any fragment of memory and the nerve cells in which it is supposed to be encoded. In other sense that, we have a series of memories. But these memories are not piled up in our brain in any sequence of your age, or it occurred with the date-wise, or the importance of persons. No, they are all, separate entities, every memory. So that your identity is not dependent upon your memory. Your identity, you don't say I am because I have good memory from my childhood to this day. What's your earliest memory? What age? 3 years old. What is that, brother? What do you remember at the age of 3?
My brother walking.
Oh, brother walking. Yeah, well, this isn't great. My earliest is at the age of 3. My maternal grandmother taking me to a man called Kochukunjupadeshi in Kerala, my great maternal uncle, showing him. He was very old, and I still remember sitting in his lap. He taking some sugar cane and cutting it and making it small piece and putting it in my mouth. I still remember. That's my first memory. I cherish that memory. Why? One of the godliest man. I'm sitting in his lap. Even if I forget everything, I wanted to retain that memory. But that memory, there are many other memories, I am not I am because of that memory, no. It is I who is having that memory. It's not that memory that makes me me. Some people don't have memory that far, Yeah, I have many early memories. Yeah, many early memories. They are fun, aren't they? Oh, they are very fun. Some memories, of course, I wish I never had. Some memories I never wanted to forget it. Yes. So, it's a very true statement, very true statement, that it is not our memory cells that give us our identity. Arthur Christensen has said it. Without any concept of the supernatural mind, the humanist has real difficulty of explaining the unity of identity and memory. The nerve cells in which memory encoded changes. The physical and mental core state changes, but the identity of I am remains the same. In another sense, what he's saying that, you have a thread that goes through the chain. You have many beads, 100 beads that make a chain. There must be something that hold all the beads together. There is a thread that goes on. That's the I am. That's the I am. Was it David who said, once I was young, now I am old, but I have never seen the righteous man, It's amazing, isn't it? I was young, but now I am old. The same thing I can say. Once I was young, but now I am getting old. I am becoming older, But I have never seen certainly. The unchanging factor in man is that supernatural consciousness God has put in us. If we don't have the supernatural consciousness, then we are a psychological patient. We are not a being. We are, something else, an animal. You go to any animal, the dogs, for example, amazing. Last week I rushed to my home and I have 3 dogs at home. And the youngest one was just I think 15 days when it was born when I left, just very, it could, I think it smelled me. I took it in my hand and played, and also it knows my smell. But now I went there, oh boy, it was all over me, jumping all over me and smelling and all. Anybody else coming, it's very angry dog, bark. And that little dog never loses the smell. All the other dogs, of course, they were jumping over me, the smell. But the dog does not have an eye consciousness. The dog never could say, once I was your dog, now I am your dog, and I will be your dog. No, can't. Why? It does not have supernatural consciousness. It only have a faculty of smell, God given it for its survival. Dogs cannot survive without smell. That's what God has given them. Yes. So without any concept of the supernatural mind, the humanist has a real difficulty of explaining the unity of identity. You go and ask a secular psychologist, sir, I wanted to change my identity. In what way? Instead of saying I am, I wanted to say about me, you are. Or he is. Why it's always I am? When I was 5, I said I am. But I know every cell in my body has changed since then many times. But still I say, look at my hands and say I am. Sir, can you tell me the reason why? When all my cells change and new cells come, why I am not changing? At least I have to say that the old I am gone, now the new I am has come. They have no answer. They will say, well, that's the way it is. Don't ask this kind of questions. Some stupid questions need to be asked to find out who is stupid. Really, honestly. Some stupid questions have to be asked to find out really who is stupid. Yes. Some stupid statements have to be made to find out who is stupid. John Wesley was walking, in the evening walk, he was walking in the, in the city. And they have the sidewalk, and there is a post standing on the sidewalk, the fixed, and the little space, only one can go. If another person comes from opposite, one has to get down. So the notorious atheist from England who hated John Wesley to the core of his heart, they came face to face, and the atheist looked at John Wesley and said, I do not give my way to any fool. John Wesley looked, smiled and said, but I do. But I do. So that's why I said some stupid statement has to be made to find out who is stupid. I don't know the rest of the day what that man thought about. Yes. So I remain my identity, your identity you never lose, because the supernatural consciousness that God has put in your conscience remains. That's a link between your past, your present, and your future. If you didn't have that link, you would have been an animal like any other animal. You know why atheists behave, many of them, like a beast? Look at the communist, the Marxist, the materialist. How do they all behave? Look at the Russian leaders, the Chinese leaders. Go to Vietnam, some of these countries. Man has no value there. Why? Because they have ruled out, or they have silenced the supernatural consciousness in them, saying, you are not just an animal. They taught themselves to say that I am an animal. I am evolved from an animal, and more animals will be evolved from me. Let each kind beget its own kind. A man was eating some nuts. So another man came and said, sir, a man is what he eats. Yeah, that's but true, a man is what he eats. So don't eat nuts. Yes. Another problem of the secular humanist And the Marxist is this: the free will. How could every single human being possess a distinct personal will? 10 cows in a green pasture field have only one will, to eat the grass, and when full, to lie down. But 10 people on a similar situation may have even mutually opposing wills. Only the biblical view of man, being a unique creation of man, could explain the different wills of man. No. I don't believe man has a free will. No, I don't believe that, honestly. Man has a free capacity. No. Where does the Bible say man has a free will? The first statement of God to man was what? You can eat from all the trees, but don't eat the fruit of the tree of knowledge. Was that a free statement? Is that freedom? Did God give Adam the freedom to eat the fruit of the tree of knowledge? No. But Adam had the capacity to eat. So to say that man was created free, no. Man was not created free. His freedom was limited to do that was God's will, what was right. He had no freedom to do what was wrong. But he had the capacity to do what was wrong. He had the capacity, the ability to eat that which God said no. So man was created not with a free will, but with a free capacity. If you mean by will that capacity, I have no problem. I have no problem. Then it's a matter of semantics. But if you mean more than that, no. If I have two chocolates or toffee in my hand, and some child came and said, son, you choose what you want. He has chosen this, and then I gave him a spine. Why did you choose it? No. If that's what God did, God gave Adam the free will to choose, and when he chose, God spanked him, God would have been wrong. But if I tell the child, these are two toffees, I don't want you to take this one, take this. But he took this. What will I do? I can spank him. Why did he took? Why did he take it? Because he has a capacity to take it. But he didn't have the freedom to take it. Because if he had the freedom, then God must honor that freedom, right? Well, Adam, now that you have exercised your freedom, you are truly a free being. You can go wherever you want. You can do whatever you want. You are what you choose to be. That's not what God said. He added some punishments and pronounced some, cursings and all on the earth and this and that and all that, So where this idea of the free will came? Man has a free capacity. The capacity God gave man is free. He has the ability to do what you want. But because man is a moral being, when you use your capacity, you are held responsible. Because God also has given you the capacity to obey Him. The capacity is your choice. It's not your will. What actually you do, you submit your will to the wrong purpose. Your capacity, your ability, you are using for the wrong purpose. Of course, once you exercise that, I could say that again it is not free, because you are not free now to do the other part. But there is a slant. That's called inclination, The man's, he has there's a technical word, he has a slant, towards evil. So this idea of man totally being free is a lot misused. The theological repercussions are far and wide. When say that God created man a morally free being to do what he wants, and then when he has exercised that freedom God has given, God unnecessarily punished him. God is a cruel being, and unjustified being. No. God clearly told Adam, you're not free to eat the fruit of the tree of knowledge. The day you eat, you shall die. Very severe warnings. But God created him with the capacity to eat. But not more capacity to disobey than capacity to obey. He was created in equally balanced way. The capacity in itself is neither moral nor immoral. The capacity is amoral. I have the capacity to kill an animal, kill a man with a knife. Or I have the capacity to save a man with a knife. It's a surgeon. The capacity is neutral. The use of the capacity is what makes it moral or immoral. So Adam was created in that way, truly. He was given the capacity but not the morality. So, I'm touching on a very fundamental area, very fundamental area. Basic, the theology is you talk to 100 Christians and 99.99 Christians will make the statement that man is a morally free person. Almost hinting to say that God has given him the freedom to do what he wants. And you question them and ask them, wait a minute, did you say man is a moral being? Will you explain it? He decides what to do. Then what should God do? If God gave that freedom, then what should God do? Honor it or dishonor it? See, that's the danger, that's danger. The capacity, yes. God is the only person with a totally free will. Once man had eaten the fruit of the tree of life, man would have become a morally free being. He can no more do bad because he will desire to do bad. Any desire comes will be a good desire. So that the question of doing evil will not even arise. Just like the holy angels. Yes. If man would have eaten the tree of life, the fruit of the tree of life, then man would have been confirmed in a holy state. From that moment, man would have been a free agent because only good thoughts will come, no bad thoughts will come. So his choice is between good and good and good. It's never between good and evil. When you have a choice between good and evil and God has strictly said no evil, then you are not free. So that was what God wanted. The moral capacity to make these choices, God wanted man to make the choice for the good, so that he will be good always. Look at the holy angels, for example. They were also on probation, I think. Part of the angels fallen down. Occasionally they will do a good thing, I guess. But their basically inclination is to do bad. But the holy angels, if they wanted, could they do evil? The answer is they don't want to do evil. Why? Because by confirmed in holiness, all their disposition is holy. When your disposition is entirely holy, does God want to commit a sin? No. Why? God is totally holy. He doesn't have a disposition to commit evil. God created man with the capacity to make a choice like that. If he had used his capacity wisely, then man would have been confirmed in holiness. Then his choices are always between good and good. This good or that good. This good or that better. It's never this good or that bad. The free will theory assumes that man was created, both the trees represents man's will. No, it doesn't represent man's will. Man has a one will, not two will. That will has to be subjected to the will of God. When man was to choose or subject his will against the will of God, then that is called the slavery of will. So what is freedom? What is free will? Free will is the ability always to do the right thing for the right purpose at the right time with the right motivation using the right method. That's what freedom is. Freedom is not the ability to do the wrong thing. That's slavery. That's sin. So true freedom is the ability or the opportunity to do the right thing for the right purpose, in the right manner, at the right time, with the right method. Right, for the right purpose. Yes, I may have repeated one thing, yes. But that's what it is. That's what it is. We are free today to do that. If you wanted to mix that with evil, freedom is the ability, freedom is the opportunity to choose between bad and good. I say, and you don't have that freedom. It is a misuse of your freedom. It is an abuse of your freedom. The Bible called that slavery. പാപത്തിന് അടിമയാണെന്ന് പറയില്ല. That's what it is. Yes. That's why Paul said, shall we sin? No. How can you sin? You who are dead to sin cannot sin anymore. It's not logically correct. Because a dead man doesn't do anything. You are dead to sin. How can you do sin? So it's illogical for you. Man does not have the freedom to do sin. This is very, very important, So when somebody, comes to you with the brother, I was having this, I misused my freedom to commit adultery with this woman or with this man, he said, you look at him and say that, you are a slave, that. God never gave you the freedom to do such a thing. No. Man is never given a freedom to do any sin. No sin. The moment you do it, even to desire to do it, you are making yourself an enemy of God. So let us not have this misconception that man is a totally moral being, unless you mean by that one man has a capacity of choice. The ability to choose, not the freedom to choose, but the ability to choose. The ability is different from the freedom. The doctor has the ability to kill a patient on the surgery table or to save a patient. But the doctor does not have the freedom to do that. He has only the capacity. If he misuses the capacity, what will do? He will be arrested. This is very, very important, because a lot of people, they comfort themselves by saying they blame God. I did it only because God gave me the freedom to do it. Why God gave the freedom? That's what they ask, why did God put that tree there? So they wanted to...
The root of the problem.
Yeah, the root of the problem is that. Basically Adam said that. The woman you gave me. Don't ask me why. You created such a woman who has such power over me, persuasion over me. So the woman you created gave it and I ate it. What else should I do? Yeah? In your creation, that is what. See, passing the bugs, the wrong theology. The wrong theology. You don't have to eat everything the woman God has given you. If your wife gives you poison, will you graciously, joyfully take it? Knowing that this is? No, you don't. So you take only things that you think is, what you want. So why blame God? Why blame God? So in psychology, psychology is a part of theology. Psychology is involved with it. You just cannot look up the psychology saying 1, 2, 3. This is mine. Over. No. The ramifications go over and over and over and over again. It's all tied down there. So somebody come to you with these sort of questions. Is it wrong for me to marry a non-believer? Some ask. Why did you ask me? Because God has given us a free will, right? You have a free will? Where does it say? In the Bible. Where's that man, you are free to do good or bad. I will not punish you for it.